My hat! Alright, so I just put some fuel in the tank. I think I'm ready to go. Got the transmitter, programmed it. The servo saver is not very good. I used the original one. I really need to replace it with an aluminum servo horn. I will do that eventually. I mean, I'm running this Savox, so it should be able to handle just a metal one. We'll get one at some point. For now, this was just to get it running. But throttle, brake, transmission in there. So that's working. Well, the servos are. We'll see if everything works. The only thing I did is I poured fuel right now, and then I leaned this. Now that there's a little bit of fuel in my finger, I'm ready. And the reason why is if you have air in your fuel line, the engine's going to suck air, so it's going to take longer to start. But that's it. Now, I do have the Easy Start module that plugs in here. But I do not have a battery because I didn't get it with the battery. So I just took out the red and black cable. So I'm just going to stick them in here. And I'm not going to put the glow starter yet. I just want you to hear the motor. It does turn. So it turns well, but here we go, moment of truth. This does have a charge. And what I like about these is they have an indicator. So if you put it in and you know the battery's charged and it stays in red, your glow plug is dead. But if you go ahead and set it, say it goes to green, glow plug is working. So right now I just sort of preheated the glow plug and I'm about to get this started. Worst thing that can happen right now is this thing just takes off and hits the fence. I don't know why I left the body so far away. But anyway, here we go. Alright, should be fuel in there. Maybe not. Alright, I see fuel. I'm pinching it so it doesn't go back. There we go. That's probably what was happening when I put it in here. I didn't pinch the fuel line, so the fuel probably just came back. I guess something else I could have done was just to flip this over a little, just like that. That should put some fuel in there. Let's try it again. I'm not worried about the minimal fuel in my hand, to be honest. But let's see. So we'll go glow plug. And you don't want to leave this on for too long. All right, so I'm actually going to need a hand. Let's see. Nope. Well, here, let's see. So we know this is heating. So it has to be fuel. Fuel has to be the issue. Could be the carburetor. I didn't mess with any of the settings, and I do not believe the person that sold it to me messed with them either. But there's always a chance. So I'm gonna go ahead and fiddle with this screw. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a flat screwdriver, and I'm going to tighten all the way, but I'm going to count the turns, then I'm going to back it out. So one moment. Alright, so let's see. One, two, three. It's about 3.5 turns, so let's just go out 3. 1, 2, 2.5. Let's do 2.5. Try it out. Just a little bit of fuel. Something else that you can do is, if you think the carburetor's not sucking fuel, you can always just put your finger here and it'll create a vacuum. So right now, that looks pretty dry. Well, here, let's see. I'm just gonna run it, see if I see fuel go through the carburetor right there. And actually, I kind of smell something, but I don't really see fuel going in. Let's try it again. Nope. No fuel. Huh. Well, let's see. Well, that looked like it had fuel. Put that in there. All right, there's fuel there for sure. So I should be able to see fuel go in there. But I'm not seeing any fuel. So at this point, what I'm thinking is maybe somebody closed maybe the idle valve, something. Let's see, that's a 2.5. So let's get a 2.5 out. And let's see. So, all right. Just making sure everything's where it's supposed to be before I start messing around with other things. Oh, great, that's in the way. Let's see. So, let's go. All right, that is half. 1. Let's try it again. All right, let me just get in a better position because I'm kind of kneeling and I'm getting tired. So, 1 sec. So the glow plug is new. I mean, the engine is new, but I'm still gonna check it just to see if it works or not. So it should go bright red. Oh yeah, see it's glowing? So glow plug is definitely working. My issue is definitely fuel. Now I just need to let this cool. I guess what I can do is I can set it in my driver. There's other drivers that have a sort of a plastic or a little rubber piece that help hold this on. I don't have one, so I'm just going to do it this way. I don't want that copper washer to fall off because that's the gasket. That's what seals it. You do not want to over tighten this because if you do, you can damage the glow plug or damage the engine there. And if you damage the threads, then you're going to need a new heat sink. Because that's where it, the heat sink is like the head of the engine. All right, so let's see. I'm going to go out 4 turns. Let's see. 1, 2, 4. All right, so I'm going to start there. All right, so all of these are tight. So the carburetor is fixed there good, well. The idle screw is right here in there. I don't know if you can see it, that one right there. I'm going to leave that as is. There's another screw over here that's just this is the inner needle side, but we're going to see. Here goes. Well, first I'm going to plug it in. I'm going to try to see if I can just get some fuel in. All right, so you heard the difference in the sound. See, there's actual fuel now. So that's what you need. So just put your finger on the carburetor, just like a real car. Real car, you would just put your hand, create a seal, and that would create a vacuum and would start sucking fuel. So that was the sound of this working. So the one thing to remember is if you look at the throttle, it's open a little too much. So this would be a good time actually to adjust this and make sure this will actually close the throttle. So that gives it throttle. This closes the throttle. This in here should only be about 1 millimeter open, and it's open quite a bit. Well, maybe that's good enough. So you just have to be careful. If you're using both of your hands, just give the transmitter to somebody else to hit the brake. And you just, if they're new, just remember to tell them that the brake, you go forward on the trigger, and throttle, you pull back. That way they don't accidentally give it more throttle. But here goes. Let's see, so let me just turn this so you can see it. And once it's green, it's going. I think you can see the problem that we have. One of the differentials is backwards, so I'm gonna have to reinstall it. Watch, these are gonna spin opposite direction. I'm gonna pretend my wife is the one that installed them. See, it's never gonna run, but the engine works. So to cut power, you just need to pinch the fuel line. I'm using my fingers. It usually takes about 3 seconds, but engine runs, I got it running. So now these are spinning the correct way, so I need to disassemble the front and then just flip the differential. So the ring is probably on this side. I'll have to flip it over here or vice versa. But there we go. We got it started. Let me flip the differential and then I'll show you how this truck runs. All right, so as I mentioned before, the front differential was on backwards. It's not a big deal, I just pulled it out. So on here, let me just take this because that's gonna go on that side now. You just flip the differential, turn the collar, and that's all you do.